Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Wednesday, the 16th of October, 2024. So, the synoptic situation today then, we have low pressures out in the Atlantic, high pressures out over Northern Europe, and between them, they're leaving us a very moist, southerly flow. I'll run that through to midday today. You'll notice that we're pretty well in a warm sector southerly airstream. A front sat out just to the west of us, which will be a factor later on this early evening. But otherwise, we're just going to be left in a very moist, warm sector here, low cloud. Might not get any rain up until about 5 o'clock, but the problem is the cloud base is going to be far too low for normal operations, I fear. Spot winds are giving about 18, 190, 20 knots. If you go further south, it's a little bit anywhere between 180 and 200. And you can see the cloud that we've got over us today. It's uh, it's covering the whole of the south of the country. The north of the country are suffering from the cold fronts, and you can see the two front system there. There's the first one, and there's the second one. Nice and clear afterwards, but of course they're going to bring their problems with them, and then problems are going to be associated rain later on today. So here's the actual rain forecast for the next 2 hours. Most of the rain's going to stay well to the west of us. Arguably, we're not going to get any here today. Arguably, I think that's a bit of wishful thinking. But anyway, it's nothing in the next couple of hours. And if we run through the predicted rain forecasts for today, again, all the main rain is out to the west of us. If we run this through, there's a small possibility around about, I don't know, 10:15, 10:30 for an hour or so where we may get a bit of rain here. But after that, the forecast is actually clear of rain up until around about 5 o'clock later on today when we get that heavy stuff. Our local forecast is giving overcast all day, a bit of rain now, although I can't see it, and a bit more rain from about 4 o'clock onwards. Southerly, southeasterly flow. It's going to reach 17 degrees today, so that's going to be pretty warm. But we have got some gusts that have been an additional factor. But I think the biggest issue here we've got is the high humidity. If you run that through, the lowest one we've got is 93, perhaps. That's around about 3 o'clock. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Otherwise, it's up at 97, 98% humidity. Top GFS is giving us top temperatures there, maybe 20 degrees, with a dew point down at 16. So if you're outside the window, this was at 8:15, and this is now at 9:05. Spot the difference? There is no difference really. And our local forecast station is giving us 15 degrees, 13.7 dew point, and temperature dew point have been flat since midnight. No increase in temperature at all. Okay, Odium is giving their METAR is giving us 7 knots in the southeast. Viz 4,000 meters, overcast at 300 feet, light drizzle. Their TAF is a mile long, so I shall just concentrate on the Farnborough TAF. They're giving us 8 knots in the southeast, Viz 9,000 meters, broken cloud at 500, broken at 1,200. And I've highlighted the relevant parts of their TAF today. So 11 knots from the southeast wind, broken clouds at 600 feet. Temporarily, between 7 o'clock this morning and 9 o'clock this morning, 8,000 meters, broken cloud at 400 feet, which is what we've got outside now. Temporarily, between 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock today, 6,000 meters of rain showers, but becoming from 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock today, broken clouds at 1,000 feet. So this is an area we may possibly be able to get something out of the day. If I run the significant weather from Top Meteos, so this is at 10 o'clock today. Clearly we're down the south here, overcast, mist, rain. But if I just run this forwards, it's indicated it's starting to dry out by about 12 o'clock. And actually, it's giving us a very dry window this afternoon. So there's a possibility that if there's enthusiasm, we may get a few winch launches in this afternoon if people are that keen to do it. SkySight is giving us cloud-based rising slow to about 1,000 foot. So this is from about 12:30 onwards. It's giving us about 1,000 foot for a couple of hours. Thousand, yeah, 1,200 foot perhaps for a couple of hours, but that's above sea level, so it's going to be pretty low here, still at 700 foot above the airfield. And winds 170, 180, 14 with gusts of 20 knots. No TAMs, I will briefly mention them. 24 is a RAT, which is in Salisbury danger area. That's for UAVs only. 28 is Barnt Stacey, the usual live firing. 32 is Bulford danger area is actually open today. It's active, that's danger area 126. Active surface of 2,500. 34 is the usual Uphaven change. And in amongst all this lot here, we've got ash ranges which are active, and the other ones that we can barely make out here are fireworks or flares at Blackbush or Farnborough from 7 p.m. onwards, so are not going to be a factor today. Right, so if we run through the briefing then. So I've written here, very unlikely we'll fly today, and I think I can say that quite confidently. A little teaser for those that didn't go or weren't that lucky last week. This is a picture that Viv took yesterday, just south of Arboyne, in a beautiful wave. We still have places available for next week if people are tempted. The wind is going around to westerly, so we're going to have westerlies all next week at Arboyne, and there are 3 places available if someone wants to come at late notice. Please let me or the office know. Running through the cross section then. This is a bit that sort of tells a story, doesn't it? The first cloud-based level is 500, so right down on the ground, maybe rising to 500 foot by about 11 o'clock. Small possibility, some slightly better weather later on, but this thing's very, very moist. There's multiple cloud layers from ground level up to 15,000 feet, and it's all a bit of a mess. Winds about 160-12 throughout the day. Low vis. It's not really indicating any rain now, which is what I was sort of saying earlier. I think we might just miss the rain, except thunderstorms from 6 p.m. this evening as that cold front comes through. So there are no movements. We have a very moist, warm sector area, low cloud base throughout the day, cloud layers to 12,000 feet. Some possibility of rain at about 11 o'clock for an hour, thunderstorms after 5. Southerly wind, if we set up, it'll be on 1/6, and that really does depend on the lowering the cloud base. It needs to be obviously high enough for us to do anything, and I'm not 100% convinced that's going to happen, but we need to be ready. Southern end of the field is very, very, very wet still, and be careful, please, when you land on the grass. Be careful with the wheel brakes, especially on the K21s, which are very effective. We have 4 K21s and 3 K13s serviceable. 4 K21s are on the booking system. We've got 4 instructors, all 4 K21s booked this morning, or all day actually. So the K13s will be available for the casual list. We've got the usual gliders at Arboyne. All the other single seats are booked by the Wednesday group. Watch out for any misting canopies. Usual warnings about buggies. There is the list. Plenty of activities. Lovely to see. Shame the weather's not going to help us too much. If we set up, we'll be on runway 16, and the Elliott puddle is down the bottom now. It's not a puddle per se, but it is very, very damp there. So please try to avoid it should you be doing launch failures or anything like that. Okay, I'll see you all in the restaurant in 10 minutes or so. I don't think we need to rush to get anything DI'd, but I think if there is an appetite, we do need to be ready for a window around about 12 o'clock for a few hours. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.